If you clicked on this video and you thought I was going to be talking about Spider-Man the whole time, I am, but I'm also not. I don't know anything about Spider-Man 2 yet. I haven't played it. I'm anxiously awaiting it, just like you are. Sorry if I clickbaited you in the title. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Small Attainable Goals. I'm Sean. Please ignore the mark I have on my forehead. My dog thought it would be fun to headbutt me, and I think she had fun. I didn't, though. Today, I want to talk about how time changes, obviously, as it keeps marching forward. But in all seriousness, how crazy it is that like the difference between 5 years can make. This is just popped in my head today because I realized that Spider-Man 2 comes out this Friday. That's the 20th. I don't know what date it is when I'm recording this, but it comes out the 20th, which is pretty cool. And I'm super stoked. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and just Insomniac in general is pretty awesome. But the game also, the original game that came out in 2018, has a huge like meaning for me. It came out exactly to the day 1 month after my dad died. And yeah, so I was still pretty much a mess. At that time, I had just completely cut off everything. I stopped spending money on almost everything, but I had already bought the game. I pre-ordered it. So I had already bought it, and I had stopped giving myself like treats or, just unnecessary stuff. If I had to spend money, then I I only spent it on food or, like the lights being on and stuff. I didn't allow myself to have any like luxuries or anything during that time. And that stayed happening for, probably a year or two after. But I did let myself play Spider-Man because I had been waiting for, I think it got announced in like 2017, maybe even 2016, and I was in. Um I mean, I was so pumped for it, and I knew it was going to be a good game. I always love Spider-Man games. Even the bad ones were still pretty fun. And this, I was like, oh wow, this PlayStation 4, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. And I was right, but I did not know that it was going to come at such a pivotal point in my life. Um, so to anybody who hasn't played Spider-Man 1 yet, go play it. It's amazing, just absolutely fantastic. And if you like Spider-Man even a little bit, you'll love the game. The story is amazing, the gameplay is amazing, and I am so pumped for Spider-Man 2. I can't wait for it to come out. Um, Hopefully by the time you're watching this, I'll have already played it and I'll love it. But I doubt it because I think this is going to come out the Monday before. So yeah, I'm rambling. But go play the game if you haven't, and spoilers ahead. The game starts out like any other Spider-Man game. You're just swinging around town, kicking ass, and then you get into the whole story of everything. I'm not going to sum up everything. I am about to give away some pretty big plot points. So, again, if you haven't played it, go play it. It's amazing. And then go get the second one too. But the game introduces Miles Morales, and if you've seen really any sort of Spider-Man media in the past couple of years, then you know who that is. He's a great character. He's pretty awesome. But in the story, about a couple hours in, his dad, who you've been working with as Spider-Man, who's a cop, dies. And I still remember it to this day when I played it. Game came out on September 7th. My dad died on August 6th, and I was bawling my eyes out on September 8th because I got to the point in the game where Miles loses his dad. And it was almost to the day when I lost my dad, a month to the day. And I was just destroyed. So I remember playing it, and for like just a slight moment in time, I forgot all about it. And then They get to the scene where Miles loses his dad, and I'm a ball of just tears on the ground, just crying in my bed about how life isn't fair and how awful everything is. So it destroyed me, but then it also helped me. Um, I kept playing, obviously. I mean, I spent, what was it, like $70 on it a couple months ago. I couldn't return it and get full price. So I was like, might as well play it. So I endured and kept playing. And it really helped me get through the time. It just gave me something to forget about everything. Just forget how crappy life was. So as I kept going and playing through the game, I got over Miles's dad's death. I mean, not my own dad's death, but Miles's, because he's a fictional character. But then Aunt May gets sick in the game, and Peter has to come down to the conclusion of I can either save the entire city and everyone, or I can save my Aunt May. He does the heroic thing and saves the city. I honestly don't know if I could have done that. So at the end of the game, Aunt May dies. Peter is alone, and at the time, I felt alone. And Peter's crying, I'm crying, and just like I was so mad at the time. I was just like, oh my god, I can't even catch a break in this fucking game. Jesus God Almighty. I was upset. I mean, not like psychotically upset where, I'm writing into the game designers and being like, I hate you. How could you do this? Of course not. You should never do that. And as the years went by, I kept playing Spider-Man. I mean, I probably played through the game. Let's see. I saved up every memory slot in the first time I played it through for PS4. So I've probably beaten the game from start to finish, including the DLC, 20 times. Yeah. I mean, if it isn't clear that I have OCD, there's the proof right there. I didn't go platinum on it though. I did beat the game, unlock all the costumes, find all the stuff, find all the collectibles. I've done that probably 20 times or more. It's probably more, honestly, because I know that I've done it through 2 different systems, and I've saved up all the save files, and then I've just deleted them and then started over from scratch again. So yeah, got a little OCD with it, but I love the game. I have always loved it since the day it came out. I mean, did it destroy me emotionally at the time? Yeah. Was it the game's fault? No. Just fantastic storytelling. Then a few years after Miles Morales came out, and it brought back all the memories of, my dad dying. And at the time, I remember being upset because, one, I couldn't afford a PS5 at the time, and yeah, that sucked. But it was the blow was kind of softened because they didn't even have PS5s pretty much anywhere, and it was just awful to try to get one. And you would go to the store and they'd be like, oh yeah, we sold out in like 30 seconds online. And you're like, oh, okay. So like a bunch of robots bought it. And they're like, yeah, so you're not going to get it. And then one day I got lucky about a year ago. So I finally got to play Spider-Man Miles Morales. I had already played it on the PS4. Story was amazing, but I was still kind of like, well, I want to play it on the PS5 because that's what it was designed for. And again, it was amazing. Spoilers, again, go play it if you haven't played it. But in that one, Miles is dealing with his dad's death, which is very cathartic for me. And he is also dealing with the loss of his best friend. I mean, the writers of the story did an amazing job. It was a fantastic story. The only thing that I ever looked down on in it, and I was a little bit like, was he was like his best friend from childhood came back into his life, and she was the big bad of the game, and I guess people, I guess in theory, people do like lose contact with people, and you could be really good friends with someone as a kid and then you lose contact with them. I have had the same best friend since I was 6. So I don't know that feeling, but I have, I guess, seen it in real life. So yeah, again, rambling. Sorry. Miles Morales Spider Man, fantastic game. I wouldn't change anything about it. Would I? I would have made the Prowler um, a suit. Like I would have just liked to. I'm sure that there's mods for that, but I don't know. The Prowler suit, Aaron Davis's Miles Morales' uncle's suit is just awesome in it. Damn, that's such a cool suit. Ever since I was a kid, I always thought that the Prowler was awesome. I saw him in like a comic book once when I was like 5, I think, and then I saw him on the cartoon, and I was like, oh my god, I wish that he was in it more. And then he just wasn't, which was a bummer. But that was also almost 30 years ago. So yeah. So October 20th, Friday, October 20th, Spider-Man 2 comes out, and it looks fantastic. And it coming out made me realize that 5 years ago, when the first one came out, I was a completely different person. I was like probably 150 pounds heavier, but also incredibly depressed. And while I still have bouts of depression now, it's nowhere near as bad as it was. I was suicidal and just completely losing it. And I'm not saying that, Spider Man, the game, saved my life or anything like that, but it helped during the time. It helped me forget that I was in so much pain. It kind of like numbed the pain for a little bit, it gave me something else to focus on. And I'm really thankful for the game for that and to Insomniac for that, even though they have no idea who I am or that it did that for me. And every single Spider Man game that's come out since 2018 has kind of been a marker in my life. Well, not like a marker, like, oh, on this game, when the first one came out, my dad died. On the second one, I finally won the lottery. No, it's never been anything like that. But it helps me. The games help me realize, like, oh, things are getting better and things can get better. So thank you for that, Insomniac, even though you'll never see this. And keep up the good work. In summary, I just want to say, as corny as it sounds, not to give up, because when Spider Man 1 came out, I was suicidal, and Spider Man 2 is coming out on October 20th, and I can't wait. I never thought that I would make it this far. I didn't think I was going to make it past 2020. I didn't think I was going to make it past 2018, honestly. But I did, and now it's 2023. Spider-Man 2 is coming out, and I can't wait to play it. And I'm doing better now. And you can do better too. Just don't give up. And you got to work for it. I mean, it fucking sucks. It's so hard. But you can do it. You really can. You just got to reach out and get help from somebody. That's it. Thank you for watching Small Obtainable Goals. I'm Sean, and if you like what you watch, maybe leave a like, a comment, maybe even subscribe. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy. Or don't. If you've been having trouble, you can get help, and all you have to do is reach out to somebody. And if you don't have anyone to reach out to, you can always call 988 if you live in the United States of America. And that is the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And they're 24/7 on. They do English and Spanish, I believe. And I'm sure that they probably can accommodate a lot of other languages because there are so many people helping. And it's a great thing. They will connect you with people in your local area, and they will get you the help that you need. So don't give up. Keep working at it. It sucks, but it can get better.